Yeah. Guten Morgen and welcome from Germany. In this week's vlog, I'm actually going to take you guys with me on my travel, but before we get there, let's get back in time like 5 days ago, because I went from Blumenau, where I'm living, to Florianópolis to spend my birthday there, relaxing, being with friends, being at the beach and preparing for the upcoming travel. So let's get back in time. Hey guys, how you doing? Today is the 14th of June. These are my last days in Brazil now. In 6 hours, I'm gonna board and I'm gonna fly to Sao Paulo and then Sao Paulo, Frankfurt. So I'm gonna spend roughly two and a half, 3 months in Germany. I love Germany, right? It's my home country, but I don't like the idea of going back. Like, I don't want to go to Germany right now. Like, I'm living in Brazil. How excited is that? But there's a cost. Every time I go back to Germany, I feel a little bit disconnected. When I'm in Germany, I feel awfully Brazilian. On the flip side, the same thing is true in Brazil. I mean, I am German. I will always be a gringo. I'm never going to be Brazilian, as much as I want to adapt and like adapt to the country. And I'm okay with that. If you belong to two different places, you belong to neither of them. In Germany, I'm very Brazilian. In Brazil, I'm very German. So I'm kind of home in both places, but at the same time, I'm also really disconnected. So yeah, I think this is just something like a cost that people don't really talk about often enough. Last weeks were kind of rough, like business-wise, and I felt burned out.
I don't want to bother you if this is not relevant. Schau mal für das. So, hey, ich will dich gar nicht stören. So. Don't want to bother you, but if this is irrelevant, like, just let me know.
I think the issue is not doing too much. It is being confused. Like, every time you're confused, like what you should be doing, right? You can execute like 12 hours a day and not feel burned out, but if you're like one day really confused what the next steps are, this is training. I'm a person like I feel most motivated when things are going good. And right now, like, we're in one of these phases. Like, everything is going good. Like, company is healthy. We are where we wanted to be, even though we fell back a little bit. But now this is part of the game. And I think like business is really that, like, period of like growing, then falling back, growing, falling back. Falling back means you arrive somewhere where initially you were dreaming to be. Right? And I know that being in Germany together with my co-founder is going to be good for me, for him, for the company, to sit together, throw like ideas across the table. So I think it's going to be really, really healthy for us. But here's where I was going with that. I recently read a book, Shoe Dog by Phil Knight. What stuck most with me was the ending of the book. He made it. Became a millionaire overnight, or like working up to this moment like for 10 years, and he felt empty. He felt regret because the thing he wanted most was to go back to the beginning and do it all over, which I think is really interesting, right? Like, you always dream about like arriving somewhere, like reaching a goal, like a greater purpose, whatever, but then when you are there, you reach this pinnacle, all you want to do is go back to do it all over again. So the times that feel the worst in the present are actually, looking back, usually the good old times. I try to remember that, like, through the last couple of days and weeks, which were kind of tough. Those are going to be like the stories that I'm going to tell. That being said, I'm going to have my last coffee now. I'm going to reflect a little bit about me living in Brazil, me traveling to the other side of the planet. I know that probably like in 3 months I'm going to sit here at this very table, probably, my home. I'm going to be thinking like, wow, I just sat here yesterday. Time passes by fast, faster than we usually want. Hey guys, how you doing? So we now have 16th of June, Tuesday. I arrived in Germany yesterday around 18 o'clock German time. My sister picked me up from the airport. I stepped into her apartment close to Mainz for one night. And now I made my way to Cologne because I will be attending a business event for the next 2 days. To be honest, I'm pretty tired. I'm pretty sick. I think I got like a bad flu during the flight. Yeah, also kind of demotivated for many reasons. I think lack of sleep, churn issues that we had recently. So now I'm here, not under the best conditions, business-wise and health-wise, but I'm still here. So I'm gonna make the best out of it. 7:30 now, time to get going. So some context about the events that I'm going to attend the next days. With Contea, we're focusing on LinkedIn ghostwriters and LinkedIn agencies primarily. Once more, we also realized that companies would benefit from our software by using it themselves to position their C-levels on LinkedIn without having to contract another agency or a ghostwriter and spending like 5 to 10k per month, but rather like 150 euros a month using Contea. And the events that I'm going to attend are specifically for marketing professionals like CMOs, the way they think, the terminology they use, and also of course make contacts and maybe some clients. So now I'm gonna get on the train again, third train of today, Koblenz, then Koblenz to Cologne, and now we'll take the U-Bahn to the first event that I'm gonna attend. Alright, so it's now around midnight, 6 p.m. Brazilian time, so I'm not tired at all. 3 highlights. First of all, the receptionist in my hotel is from Argentina, but speaks Brazilian Portuguese, so that was very nice.
Tallinn.
Qual é?
Tallinn, que é isso?
É Tallinn, isso, Tallinn é a cidade.
Sim,
E o país é Estônia. Second, I went to the event and I met a branch in Blumenau, Brazil, where I'm living, and they are already clients from us. They're using our software. So that was really interesting because like she knew all the people that I know from Blumenau because we are working together with them. They're our clients. So that was just like a really crazy coincidence. We had many interesting conversations, so that was already worth it. Third highlight was going to a Rewe supermarket to grab some food, to have dinner. And I was like, what? I know that language. There are some guys speaking Brazilian Portuguese. So I approached him like, hey, this is some brasileiros, like you guys are Brazilians. And they're like, yeah man, like we're from Porto Alegre. If we are visiting, I was like, no joke. They were just like super stoked that I spoke Brazilian Portuguese, that I know Porto Alegre. I lived in Rio Grande do Sul for 3 years. I don't know, I felt so connected to them and like so appreciated because I speak the language. And now I'm back in the hotel. I'm gonna try to get some rest. Bom dia and good morning everybody. It's now Wednesday, 17th of June, 10:53. I had a good night of rest, however I didn't sleep that well because many things going on in my head. These nights are pretty frequent and I think everybody who's self-employed knows them, when you just can't turn off your minds and your heads and it keeps wandering, like usually like problem-based, like problem-centered thinking. Besides that, I could rest, which was good. But yeah, also still jet lagged. Had some great breakfast now. This is one of my pleasures. I love hotel breakfasts. Fucking love it. Gonna reply some messages on LinkedIn. I'm gonna post on LinkedIn and then I will head to the events to make some networking. Hey guys, so it's still Wednesday, 17th of June, and we have 9 o'clock p.m. in the evening, and it's the right day. So we have one client in Brazil. Net is the name of the company. They're a German company, but they have different branches, one in Brazil for example, so they are our clients. And now today I got to sit down together with the head of marketing of the holding in Germany, and I got to pitch our product, which was nice. And let's see if they're gonna move forward with that. Cool experience for us, like having onboarded their Brazilian holding first and their Brazilian branch first, and now the German holding. Well, another highlight, there was a table soccer. Well, they asked me if I wanted to join. I was like, well, and I ended up winning. And I don't know what is in here, but apparently I won a lot of products and stuff, and I have no idea what it is, but I'm gonna check this out later. But now I'm gonna head to the river to sit down somewhere, reflect, relax, recover, and hopefully watch the sunset. Actually, I don't want to talk about the events. I want to talk about something else. About identity. I'm from southern Germany. I'm not from here. This is Cologne. It's a different culture. It looks different. I don't feel much at home. However, I don't think this is solely because of Cologne, of not me being from here, but also because of my identity, which is changing since I moved to Brazil. Because whenever we move somewhere, we have to adapt to this place, otherwise we won't integrate into this new culture, this new place. If we want to adapt to another culture, we have to get rid of a part of our identity which we had until then. When I've left Germany to move to Brazil, I had to give up some of my identity as German. I had to exclude this from my personality in order to create space for adaptation. So every year I'm cutting more away of my German personality or identity and adding more of my Brazilian identity. But on the flip side, I also know that I'm never gonna be Brazilian. Very curious how it's gonna be once I arrive in Stuttgart, southern Germany, where I'm from. I think I'm gonna feel more connected again. I can feel that I am from there. This is my place. There is no better, there is no worse. Cologne is not worse than Stuttgart. Stuttgart is not better than Cologne, or the other way around. It's just different, and it's my type of different. I think there's no denying the fact that I'm awfully Brazilian. I'm gonna try to wrestle the jet lag and get to bed earlier. Attend another day at the business fair tomorrow. Bom dia and guten Morgen. It's now Thursday, 18th of June, which means 10 days being 31. So far it has been tough. This night was one of these nights that probably everybody who's self-employed, a founder, or even just in a new job can relate to. I couldn't sleep until like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning. Many ideas in my mind, and ideas and worries and struggles, and woke up at 6:30, 7 o'clock. I think my brain is like processing things at night that it can't process during the day because my days are pretty packed. And in the beginning, like, this was really annoying to me and stressing. But I learned that when inspiration finds you, you have to use it. And you don't want to think about this idea, but you also don't want to forget about it. So I just gave up to like try to sleep again when I have these moments. Grabbed my notebook and started writing future product ideas, strategies, and so on. It's now 9 o'clock. Gonna grab some breakfast, do some light work, and then I will head to the second day of the event.
Alle sind schon völlig aufgrund der Hitze erschlafft hier. Seid ihr alle glücklich? Ja? Nein?
Hey guys, so second day on the event, and I do have one probably pretty unpopular opinion, which is if I attend events, I never go to the talks because they are a waste of time. Usually these talks, like, they want to be like very short, they don't want to feel like super lengthy. So they're like limited to 20 minutes. But the first 10 minutes I usually spend on like introducing the speaker and maybe like a pitch or whatever. And then there is another 10 minutes where this person answers questions. And usually they are super surface level, so they won't really give you any useful insight. That's reason number one. And reason number two, you can consume contents online whenever you want. You don't have to go to an event for that. And for me, this is pretty simple. The only thing I can't do online is networking. I mean, sure, I can do cold outreach, reach out to people, connect with them and stuff, but it's always going to be online. If I meet somebody in person, I can give them a handshake, they can see my smile, they can see that this is actually me, and it doesn't feel like constrained, like, okay, we have a meeting of 30 minutes, we have to stay within this time frame. So yeah, usually what I do is like I walk around, I make connections, I reach out to people on LinkedIn who are at the events, ask them if they want to drink coffee with me, and between that, when everybody is in the talks, I use the time to add all these people to my CRM system, make notes, make follow-ups, schedule them, connect with them on LinkedIn, and I think this way I use my time way more efficiently. Right, it's now 17 o'clock. The event just finished and I'm now about to meet a friend, and afterwards I will go to the river, sit down, read something, and I'm actually going to do the travel by scooter. Let's go. Guys, I'm back at the hotel. It's now 8:05. Pretty damn tired. Made 2 more contacts at the events that might be interesting for the future. I'm probably gonna hit the gym. I have another meeting in 1.5 hours. First workouts in 3 weeks because of traveling and sickness. Better get going before fatigue sets in. Hey guys, how you doing? It's now midnight. I wasn't productive anymore. I wish I was, but I wasn't. So I arrived in the hotel around 8 o'clock, went straight to the gym, had a quick session of like 1 hour, prepared for my sales call. That didn't show up. This is part of the game, right? The interesting thing is that sometimes we can feel this in our guts. Like, I knew that this person wouldn't show up. I don't know why. Sometimes I have these moments like when I'm tired where I feel like nothing makes sense and this is not my passion, and doubting myself, doubting what we're doing, what we're building. I do feel like giving up. And in other moments I have a very different feeling. More feeling of like no matter what, this kind of sense of whatever setback you have is basically your goal of yesterday. So the issues that we're having right now were basically my wildest dreams 2 or 3 years ago when we started. I think we always tend to compare our status quo of today with our ambitions and goals for tomorrow. And we neglect and forget about our ambitions of yesterday, which have become our present moment. Tomorrow is a new day. I will finally make my way down to south of Germany, Stuttgart, where I'm originally from, where I grew up, reconnecting with my family, with my cats. I hope I will also feel a little bit more reconnected with my own country, my heritage. I'm going to show you guys a little bit of my routine there, trying to get back into my routine, and a little bit about my upbringing, where I'm coming from. And yeah, I think that's it for vlog number 3. Thank you for taking part in this little journey. That being said, good night. Wherever you are, have a good rest, have a good day, and see you in the next video.